Hey guys, it's Sam and Siobhan, and this week we're giving you the chance to have your say in a new segment here on YakTV.
It's time for you to have your Yak Newcastle Uni. Let's go. Now, our first question is, where do you keep your tomato sauce? The fridge or the cupboard?
Cupboard, definitely.
Why is that?
I don't know, it's weird cold. Like, imagine having cold sauce on like a hot sausage or something.
I'd go the fridge.
I'd go the cupboard.
My tomato sauce is in the fridge.
Ooh, most of the cupboard, but mostly on the bench top.
I keep it in the cupboard.
Well, I try and keep it in the fridge, but I have a terrible habit of leaving things out after I use it, so a bit of both.
Fridge, definitely. But like a supply in the pantry to refill the one in the fridge.
I think it says put it in the fridge, I don't know.
I'd agree. I don't want to get food poisonings.
Definitely the cupboard.
Yeah, cupboard.
No, I'm an Australian. You put that in the fridge, right?
I agree.
Dead things go in the fridge. I'm not French. French leave it all outside the fridge.
Cupboard, if it hasn't been started yet, but once we open it, fridge.
What is the craziest thing you've seen happen on campus?
I can't answer that.
Probably people just dressed up as jungle animals in O Week this week, like flapping around. That was a bit weird. I wasn't quite sure how to interact with them, but yeah.
I'm in the arts department, so everything's pretty wild around there.
There was like 2 people like dressed as jungle, I don't know what they were, and they were just walking around the bush, and I was like, are you gonna chase me or jump out at me or something? And I just,
Am I going to
really
die?
paranoid.
Rasta guy.
Oh yeah.
Rasta
Who?
guy.
Yeah.
Rasta man.
I've never seen Rasta Man in my life
You
here.
can't miss him. He's so Rasta. And he's always like yelling about his rights.
There's jousting going on right now, that's pretty weird.
I don't know if it's like frightening or anything, but like on the O Week party where there was these guys that had like the awesomest costume where they had like big wings and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
During O Week, guy wearing a loincloth stalking people.
On a more serious note, what are your thoughts about climate change?
I don't really have any thoughts, to be perfectly honest. I think it's better to be safe than sorry, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, throw me in the deep end. Because the water levels are rising, aren't they?
Oh, good.
My thoughts on climate change, well, it's changing all the time, isn't it?
We have, as humans, certainly a very big responsibility to look after the planet which we inhabit.
Yeah, so I think we need a much more integrated approach to fundamental changes in the way that we're looking at things, going from more economy to ecosystem focused approach. Yeah, and integrating like many indigenous practices as well.
I think it is happening. Like, you'd have to be mad if you didn't realise that stuff is changing. It's just by how much and whether it's going to affect us.
I think we should have a climate commission. I think that's bad that it's gone.
What would you change around Newcastle campus? Anything in particular?
Air guard dispensers.
If it was on the beach, that would be awesome.
Rid the mosquitoes. More parks, definitely more parks.
Why have we got all this grass and when you have to sit down and lie on the ground? Why do we presume that students like lying on the ground? Why can't they sit on a seat?
Those candles you can get that are like
Citronella.
Yeah.
That's the
Get
mosquito
off the
repellent.
mosquitoes.
Yeah.
I seriously think there needs to be places where you can sleep.
More parking, mosquito nets.
Like a little sleeping area.
Yeah.
I'd have sleep pods. I've thought about this a lot.
Someone said that.
Because I have to nap a lot, I get up early for some classes, and I just go to the roof garden and people always laugh. And I just think if there was a designated sleep pod area, then I'd be happy.
Do you have any tips for a first date or dating tips in general?
I tend to like to think of dates, just to start with, as just being a friend to someone. Like if you go out and you can't have a laugh or enjoy their company, then it's going to be pretty boring after sex. So I tend to just treat a first date as like a first friendship date in my head, and that way I'm not being too sleazy. And you can find out if they like touch your knee accidentally all the time or something, you can sort of go, okay, maybe this girl likes me. So yeah, just play it cool, have fun.
Nice.
Really good answer.
Nice advice.
Just over food is always good, I think, and really, really relaxed. Not movies. I don't like going to the movies heaps for first dates because always pressure to like hold hands and have sweaty hands during the movie.
The crazier the better. I like weird people. So just go all out. Just be weirdo.
Good way to get
I
noticed.
love it.
Smile.
Oh,
You're such
that's
a little
probably the best
sweetheart.
tip we've gotten.
That's a great tip.
Get a haircut. Like look at mine. It is like crazy. Get a haircut.
Don't look like him.
Yeah.
Good work.
You do.
I was just talking about this earlier. I think on a first date, you should do like some activity. But it should just be like getting to know each other. So just be honest.
No
and
pressure.
Yeah, just
I like that.
yeah. That's a good first date.
Think of something creative.
That's a nice answer, actually.
I suppose, you know, you might have a shower, mate, you know, that could really help you. No, my suggestion is you bring along what I'd call a mediating object. You bring along something that can be talked about that's not you. Like, for example, my watch here. See, my watch is a communicating thing, so people can say, "Wow, I like your watch," even if they don't like me.
Can you finish this sentence for me? You know you're a University of Newcastle student when?
You go home riddled with mozzie bones
Good answer.
and a headache.
You're constantly falling asleep wherever you are.
I'm doing med, so when you can talk to people.
When you're driving around for 2 hours looking for a park.
And when you're out of petrol in the car park, I don't know.
When you dread going to class. That's it. Like, I've got so many years for my degree to go.
You have red dots all over your legs.
Yeah, okay, yeah, we'll go with that one.
When Wikipedia is still your #1 reference journal.
You constantly smell of aerogard.
When your lecturers are never on time and they don't know what they're talking about.
So there you have it. Make sure that if you see the camera crew around or our familiar faces that you come up and have your yak.
Make sure you tune in next week to find out what's happening here at Newcastle Uni for weeks 5 and 6. I'm Sam.
And I'm Siobhan.
And you're watching YakTV.
You know that you're a University of Newcastle lecturer when?
You've been sacked.